Hey folks, welcome back to Tag Team Trouble. It's time for Razor Ridge, which is pretty much hands down the worst world in the entire game.
Yeah, I remember when we went through this in practice. This took quite a while.
Would you believe me if I said it took me even longer when I actually recorded it?
Yes. Good start.
So, yeah, we're starting off real strong here with a Quox level.
That's how it always was. And it never got any better.
But again, he had the opportunity to make this better, to fix this.
I'm gonna make a DKC3 hack and I'm gonna put more Quox levels into it.
I can't believe that you're history's greatest monster.
I'm the real war criminal.
Anyway, everybody's favorite part of Quox is going back to get that barrel every single time because some jackass bumped into you at the last second.
I was really thinking that copter was gonna hit you. Hopefully you don't fail this bonus game.
Oh my god, just fucking kill me if I do.
I think this is the longest timer bonus game in the entire game. It's like 50-something seconds.
What if instead they just got rid of half the bees and made it a normal length bonus?
Artix, we might not be able to change the timer on this thing. You better calm down.
I was gonna say, am I getting too crazy?
I think so. Let me just bring this down a few notches.
I mean, I don't know if that's really the case. If you really want my hot takes about that, we could start by just flat out removing Quox from the game.
Also, if we bring it down further, I think we'll end up... This is already a slow level. Don't slow it more.
I mean, you might be thinking, like, well, you know, maybe it's at least mercifully short. It is not.
Lopsided midpoint?
I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's a lopsided midpoint. This level just sucks. It's, I want to say this video was, like the edited version of this level is, like, almost 10 minutes long.
Sheesh. Well, as a noted Quox liker, 10 minutes of Quox is fine in my book. Also, it doesn't really... that said, I will put on my design hat for a second, and it doesn't really seem like there's that many obstacles requiring his use. The original had a lot more focus on, hey, you need to transport the barrel over to here so that you can get the thing, or to keep going. This one doesn't really seem to have much of that going on at all. Like, it's not just me, is it?
Nah, there's a lot of nothing in this level.
Other than surprise bees.
Yeah, but there's always surprise bees.
You mean you made a video game and you put in an enemy that can hurt you no matter what? Oh my god, as a ROM hacker, I'm compelled to use them everywhere. Oh, there he is.
This is just kind of a brief little interlude. But yeah, Coin is just kind of hanging out.
I feel like you could slow drop it right at the start and then just fly over him. That works too. Those noted good Donkey Kong hitboxes.
you can tell how quickly my patience is running out because I keep going faster and faster. And I keep making more and more mistakes of it because of it.
I want to be done with this faster. Don't make me do this again, I say, slamming myself into a helicopter blade.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, since there's like there's little correlation with, hey, this barrel is spawned, and hey, there's actually not an enemy. You don't know when you need a barrel or not. In the original, there was always an enemy.
I especially like these kinds of setups where it's like, not only do you need the barrel, you also need to drop it on a specific enemy, otherwise you can do it all again.
Where were you going?
I was going back to see if there was anything there.
Ah. Those 3 bananas were very important. This is why I was saying, like, the midpoint looked a bit lopsided. I feel like you got it around the 1/3 mark, more than anything else.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just something I noticed after judging so many levels for Mario World and things like that. Lopsided midpoints will hurt your score.
This one is marginally more interesting by virtue of being Guox. It makes those 4 in the middle actually a lot harder to get, because you don't have the safety net of just bouncing on his head.
Yeah, it's a nice little remix. We should do a little more of that with the bonuses, but I suppose the only way to remix them without readjusting them is to put animal buddies in arbitrarily.
But we're free now, and we never have to do that level again.
No, instead you have to do Kong-fused cliffs. Thanks, bears. We haven't seen the bears at all in this, because there's no reason to visit them.
Yeah, we don't need the banana birds, so there's really no reason to see them. Anyway, yeah, Kong-fused cliffs! It's, it's an auto-scroller. A very, very slow auto-scroller.
This level is already pretty tight with its timings in the original. This is yeah, this one's gonna be rough.
So my favorite thing in the world about DKC3's rope physics is that in order to get on the rope, you have to be holding left. You have to be holding, like, you're jumping towards it, you're holding right. And then you have, like, a split second between after you get on the rope to let go of right before you spin around the rope. Which is a slight problem, you might say, with all of these copters.
My favorite... Wow. Okay, B. My favorite part is the part where Kitty is bigger than Dixie. Also, man, if you weren't Dixie there, you'd be... That's it.
I mean, that's a fair bonus to be... Like, that's a good bonus.
That's a well-hidden bonus. It's just you don't have the ability to change Kongs. That's not so good an exit.
So that's the other fun thing about rope physics in this game, is that if you're not holding the direction when you go to the rope, you won't grab it.
And nothing could have been done. Yeah, this level is just... In the original, it was really tight with the timings for climbing stuff, and I remember it being a big source of, like, difficulty. Here, the timings are even tighter. Nope, nothing here. We're not going... There's nothing. We're abort.
Abort? Yeah, nope, it's the next one.
Man, it's the diagonal copters. Those always got me as a kid. It's because they have such a low clearance between the flame and their blades.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that second one is actively unavoidable if you're Kitty.
That said, both bonuses in this level are pretty good.
Yeah, they're well placed.
I think the original level is pretty okay overall. It's just a real step up in difficulty. If the fire was going just a slight bit slower, it'd be better. So I don't know how many takes you cut out here, but that actually looked like it went okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't remember how this works in the original, because I'm pretty sure it's the exact same setup. Maybe it's just that the camera is lower. Oh, that's probably it. I don't think the camera scrolls up.
Yeah, after a couple tries, I'm just kind of like, whatever.
I don't think the camera scrolls all the way up to there. I think it stays kind of low.
I'm not sure why that one worked, but I'll take it, I guess.
Sure. Well... Alright. Now for me to not see anything.
Yeah, this, again, I don't know what else I can say. It's a dark level.
This level dark.
That's the gimmick. You can't see shit.
This level was already maze-like enough, even when playing original. Even when you know where to go.
Yeah, so... Floodlit fish in this hack is... like... So, the way it's set up is that it's actually extremely linear. There's always like 3 alternate paths, but they all go to the exact same place. Like, 99% of the time, it's not even like there's different enemies on one, although occasionally you'll see like urchins on one and fish in the other, but like... It's just a bunch of extra paths. Because he can, I guess? I don't know.
I think the problem, or I think the difficulty is, from what I remember, this level it has like a very similar feeling layout to the original. So you get kind of this mix of, I think I know where I am, and then I have no idea where I am, and you're in the dark. So it's your memories of the original mixing with the memories, or with what you're seeing and playing. So it's this weird kind of, I'm very lost and I can't see anything.
Thankfully, they did not make us actually, like, do anything in the dark for the bonuses, because that would have been unpleasant.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if this level was any brighter, or if it was even darker on CRTs. I cannot recall. But I just know that, you know, with, like, modern LCDs, blacks are... It can be different, like... It can be easier or more difficult to see certain things, depending on how you have the contrast set on your monitor or whatever. I know sometimes when I'm playing... I usually have to turn up brightness and gammons to options in a lot of things I play. Just because it feels really dark these days. Specifically, I'm thinking of, like, I've been playing some Doom hacks, WADs, whatever you want to call them. And man, I know Doom's a, you know, vague horror type game, at least by today's standard. Nice job. But man, I cannot see a damn thing in half of these things that people make, because it's so dark. I'm assuming it's probably a thing with my monitor, but thank goodness for gamma correction options. That's the problem with this sort of level. You're right, in that there's all these extra paths, but it never really matters. It doesn't... There's no, like, immediately recognizable landmarks in this. Like, think of the waterfall levels or whatever. The waterfall levels are usually, like, one or two or three different waterfalls. Like, big waterfalls, and the level kind of winds through them. But you're always, like, going up. So you kind of say, hey, alright, I know where I'm going generally. I go left, then right, then left, and I'm at the end, or whatever. And you can say, oh, I'm at the left waterfall, I'm at the right waterfall. Here, though, it's just going down, it's dark, it's winding, and there's no real... There's no gimmick. There's no, like, rocket barrel, for instance. There's no barrel switch type thing. There's nothing for you to say, hey, I know where I am.
Yeah, that banana arrow right there, that banana arrow is the first point in this level where I was like, okay, I definitively know where I am right now.
Mm-hmm. The rest is just kind of a path that's... You know you're supposed to go down, but you just kind of have to wander.
A death so nice, we had to do it twice.
I'm speechless at that one.
Yeah, when I was editing this level, I legitimately had a lot of trouble being like, okay, wait, hang on.
Is this new stuff for me to put in?
Yeah, is this new? Did I get here in the last life?
Yeah, it's not like any other level, really. Like, even the Quox level's kind of the same, but it doesn't have all the multi-path, and at least you can see where you're going.
Yeah, like, at least on the Quox path, you can see what you're fucking doing.
And so, it's like that, really. It's just not being able to see very clearly mixed up with a maze-like level structure, even if it is generally going one direction. Time for the level that used to have all the animal buddies.
Yeah, but what if instead we just got rid of, like, half of them?
Perfect.
So what you're saying is you're okay with less squawks in the game. I like it. Ship it.
He was moved from this level and put into the early mill levels.
Good to say, good for you, Squitter. You made it into a real level.
Speaking of guys who didn't make it into real levels, these guys really did not. They show up, I think, once in like I think this is the only level that they show up in, and it's only in the latter half in the original. Considering how much they use the other guys, I'm surprised that they didn't use them in a couple more places. I think they get used a fair bit in Land, and I think they were reused in the GBA whatever Pacifica world.
Yeah, but we don't talk about Pacifica.
Yeah, if you want to see Pacifica, you can check out the other LP we did years ago.
Yeah, it was something, alright.
That was the first time you'd played it, right?
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever actually played Pacifica. It was...
Pacifica is not great.
It's interesting.
I mean, I think there's one level that was real good, also.
I always found it really weird that these guys don't make, like...
Okay, game. Alright.
Yeah, like, these guys, when you throw them in the water, they don't make platforms, like every other barrel.
What I found weird with them is rarely you can get them in a situation where, for whatever reason, their mouth turns green instead of red.
I think that's what happens when you pick them up.
It could just be sprite frames or something like that, but I think it can also happen if there's like two of them and you smash one into another. But it's still kind of strange, because why would there be, unless it's like a frame that they didn't color the mouth right, like they forgot to do, or they needed more colors and they had to make the mouth a sprite of its own. I don't know. It's weird. Video games are strange sometimes.
So I did not accomplish it during this recording session, but if you watch the stream, you will remember my valiant attempt to get this goddamn elephant all the way up this this staircase.
I do. It was bad. Now I'm glad these guys don't show up more, because this setup is awful.
I think I really don't like this section right there, because prior to this, all throughout the level, the bananas have denoted where you're safe, and right there, he uses them to denote where the bomb's gonna hit.
Yeah, it's not really a discussion, but, you know, something to keep in mind when doing, like, Mario hacks as well, is the idea that coins should be generally the safe spots. Because, well, that's kind of how the games use them. But at the same time, there's nothing else by default that you can really use to signal, hey, this is dangerous. So coins end up being the most easy...
I know I've seen a lot of Kaizo hacks, especially, use, like they use, like, regular coins when they want you to jump, and, like, blue coins where they want you to spin jump, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it does have... I mean, Super Mario World specifically has blue coins that are never used in the original game, but, so you can do that. I mean, you can change around the coin palette to be on any palette row you want, so you can make other colors of coins, but the thing is, you have to mentally, you have to remember the different colors being different things, versus some sort of call-out of another type. In DK, though, we don't have any such thing. There aren't any other colors of bananas, at least not yet. DK64.
I can't... Do you not want these fine blue bananas, FP?
You eat a blue banana and tell me if you want one.
Unfortunately, I am not the weird Kong, so I cannot tell you.
Why do you think he's so strange?
I mean, it could be worse. He could be tiny.
Yeah. And then you just got Chunky, who's eating underripe
just ripping those things right off the tree, just slamming them in his mouth. No care for how ripe they are.
Chunky, those must taste terrible. And he just shoulder slams you. No, he's too nice for that. He shoulder slams a Kremling instead.
So I'm pretty sure that little thing there where I snuck underneath the red bee is not intentional, but, you know, fuck it, it works.
Donkey Kong. Physics. Ah, yes, I remember this.
Switch, please? No, okay.
You can't switch on the sprite platform.
Anyway, I like this level in general. It's really hard. Like, it's a really difficult level, and it was one of the only places I actually game overed when I was recording, but like, it's not cheap in any way. Like, almost every single one of its jumps are perfectly fair. They're just hard. Like, this bee is a dick. He does that little U motion, and like, it's hard to get past him, but it's doable. God help you if you don't have Dixie, but you can do it.
I like the original level. It's kind of... it doesn't really stand out, because the only thing about it is the canyon is blue and there's ropes. But, I don't know, I always felt like it was pretty tightly designed. It's just a good rope level. Oh, that bee's a dick too. Boy. And now we're Kitty.
Don't worry, it's fine, I got this.
Oh, God.
And then I damn near missed it a second time.
That's beautiful. So some of this I didn't actually see because I was in the middle of, I don't know what I was doing. Not paying attention to this horror show.
I mean, you weren't paying attention, and that's fine, because...
So I didn't see that jump the first time you did it. I didn't even know a drop like that was needed.
It actually gets, oddly, a lot easier after the halfway point.
Yeah, it seems that way.
This is also kind of lopsided. This is a pretty short level after this. Like, there's only one real section after we get through these bees.
Did you ever find coin?
No. He's down one of those pits somewhere. Anyway, as I said, the level is pretty short and easy from here on out. But there is a slight complication.
A friend has come to visit. And the friend says, I will give you a very special thing if you don't let me die.
I don't know how you get Perry through this section right here without Dixie. Like, I have no idea how you would roll under there and keep him alive.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Fortunately, that's it. It's a very short section.
That's good. Any longer and you might just give up on that bird.
Just don't fuck up.
Boy, the bananas are not being kind to you right now. This one's not normally too bad because they only show up in 4 places, but unless you get lucky like that, it can cut close. 62 bonus coins. We're coming along, aren't we?
I mean, there's only one more world, so...
Yeah, it's true.
We get one from Barbos here, and then...
The rest from
K. Rool.
I wonder what World 7 will be like. We haven't seen it at this time of recording.
We have not. What we do have, however, is possibly the worst boss in the entire series.
The problem with Barbos.
Problem singular?
Well, I mean, it's a problem with smaller problems attached. The problem with Barbos is that it has 3 phases, and all of them work differently. With obtuse mechanics attached to them all. This second phase took so long for me to figure out and understand what I was doing as a kid. Thankfully, if you can get past it...
Shout out to that little urchin dude who was like, nah, brah, I know you just hit the boss, but I'm gonna fuck you up anyway.
I'll give him a shout out. Oh, for... Really? We should have started recording a few minutes later. The LP police should take you away for that one.
Oh, just... God. Everything about this world is awful.
And the original is not so bad, but this one, I don't know, it just felt really kind of slow and...
And, you know, somehow, in the GBA port, they actually managed to put a worse boss than Barbos here, if you can believe it.
That's right, Barbos ends up in Pacifica. I can't remember what the boss was. We saw it, but I do not remember.
It was like some shitty CGI crocodile that his hands would like slam on the platforms.
Oh. Okay, I think I remember that now.
Anyway, that's everything from Razor Ridge, and we're never going back.
You're going back right now. What are you doing?
I'm ensuring that we never have to come back.
Good enough for me. Next time we go to a castle.
I can't believe we're at 68%. God damn it.